Hi, it's Angela. Today I'm making some lasagna soup because it is freezing cold in our area. I think it was 3 degrees when I woke up this morning with a -15 wind chill. So we need something warm and cozy for dinner. So let's go. So I'm going to start up the hamburger and onions. I'm going to put some olive oil in the pan or in the pot to start sauteing up these onions. Maybe a tablespoon of oil, not too much. Just going to saute those for about 3 to 5 minutes and let them soften up. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make up some beef broth while I'm letting those onions cook. Today I'm using the bare bones beef bone broth, and I'm going to mix it with my water. Each packet is 10 grams of protein, which is nice. So a little dose of protein there. And I only have 2 packets left, so I'm going to use some beef stock for the remainder. And this is the beef broth base that I'm going to use for the other 2 cups of water that I put in my measuring cup. It says 2 level teaspoons for every cup. So there's about 2, and here's about 2 more. Go ahead and whisk this up. I'm using 93% lean ground beef. That's normally what I buy. Try to keep it as lean as possible. That way I don't have to drain the grease either. Those onions have softened up. So I'm going to go ahead and put that beef in there. It's a meat chopper. I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but I got mine from Pampered Chef, but I know you can get them from Amazon or wherever. Everyone sells them now, but I'm going to chop up the meat and add that garlic and get it started here. 2 big spoons of garlic here. We like lots of garlic. I'm going to go ahead and season up this meat. I'm going to use Italian seasoning and salt and pepper. I get my Italian seasoning from the Amish store in Branson, Missouri. They have some of the best herbs and spices there. I'm just going to sprinkle a good amount in there, maybe a tablespoon. Some salt. And some pepper. I get my salt and pepper from Costco. That way it just lasts forever. And I go through it pretty quickly. If I didn't mention it before, this recipe is from Smaller Sam. She's an amazing, amazing influencer and content creator. She's lost over 200 pounds, and she has great recipes and great advice on her and her reels and videos. So I'm going to go ahead and tag her below, but I would give her a follow if you have any interest. But this recipe is from her, and this meat is just about ready. I'm going to chop it up one more time. Next, this recipe calls for tomato paste, about 3 tablespoons. I'm just using the Great Value brand. I use plenty of seasonings, so I don't worry too much about the brand. I'm going to go ahead and stir that in. It calls for a 29-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. It also calls for a 29-ounce can of tomato sauce. You can see I just have a 14 and a half or 15 ounce. So I'm just going to add some extra water. Then I'm going to add in that bone broth that we made earlier. And last but not least, I'm going to use this protein pasta by Barilla. You can use any kind, but this is the kind that we like. And I'm going to use about half a box. Stir that up. This is nice and thick. It needs a little bit more water, so I'm going to add about a cup of water. There we go. I'm going to cover this and let it continue simmering on medium for about 15 minutes or so to get those noodles cooked. So I just took a 15-ounce can of ricotta cheese and put it in the bowl here. And then I'm going to add about half of a bag of mozzarella cheese. What we're going to do is put a dollop of this cheese mix on top of each bowl of soup. Then you can either mix it in and make it creamy throughout, or you can just eat it a little bit at a time with each bite. That looks good. So the soup is all done. I have it in a bowl here. I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of the cheese mixture on top. And I'm going to stir that in so it gets all nice and creamy. I'm going to let it cool off a little bit, and then I'll let you know how it is. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's all done. I'm going to try a bite. Super cheesy. So good. Tastes like lasagna in a bowl. I hope you get a chance to try it, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.